Well, hello and welcome again to Blue Garden Cottage. Things have been a bit jungly out here, and with the very high winds, things have been blowing around. We've lost quite a few apples off the trees. Plants have been knocked over. But today's been a good day because I had a little helper who helped me to harvest all the pots of potatoes that were there. And that's what we got today. And he was very excited to help me get those. It was lovely to have some helping hands in the garden. I've tidied up a bit in this bed, although I have no idea how I can plant the cabbages or the brassicas in there. I think it's just too much of a hiding space there for slugs and snails. I did remove all the straw from amongst the tomatoes because I found some slugs. I'll put in a little clip right here. Not the kind of wildlife we really want, not in the numbers we get them. They have a job to do in nature, but look what they've done to my beans. So the straw has got to go. And so the straw is gone. I won't be using the straw again except to lay it in the compost because it works really well. That is the first time I have ever seen that moth in this garden. Ever. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I'd love to know what it is. He looks a bit injured, and they don't come out during the day, but look, his legs were dragging behind him. He wasn't walking on his feet, and there seems to be an injury just there inside the quills. It's a bit oozy. It looks like there's a little bit of blood there, but it looks a bit bruised. I wonder if he's been hit by a car or something. But he came in the garden and look, it's a bit swollen on the back there, and it does look like an injury. So I think I'm going to put him in a box, take him to the vet and see what they say, even if I have to pay for it. Oh, such a cute, and they are quite a threatened species, I think, the hedgehogs. They have been for a while. Come on, little one. Let's go see what we can do to help you, eh? Oh, he's just hiding away there. As soon as I touched him, he crawled up in, or she crawled up into a ball. But I am concerned that that looks like an injury, and if I take him to the vet, they might just put him down if it's serious because he's not using his back legs. I wonder if there's a wildlife sanctuary around here that might take him or her. We'll see. So let me finish in the garden. I'll put him and hide him in the box with some leaves and then take him to the vets a bit later. Such valuable creatures. They really do look after the garden and they eat the slugs, and it's so wonderful to have wildlife in the garden, and this being quite a secret garden with lots of hiding places and sheltered places. I can see why he'd come in here, but he wasn't in the garden earlier. I've been working in here all day and I know I haven't disturbed him because I haven't uncovered him anywhere under all the weeds, and I've not disturbed any piles either. So we'll see what we can do for you. Okay, another one of my favorite critters in the garden. I think this one's called a devil's coachman. I don't know what his real name is, but I have actually seen one of these with a baby slug in its pincers and taking it to its hole. And I just found this in the ground, digging in the bed where I'm putting out the spinach. So he's going to go right back there, or she, whatever it is, and do their job. I'm looking after the garden. It's quite an aggressive little bug, but it's a good guy in the garden. He's desperately trying to survive, that's what it is. So I'll go and put it back in the soil now where I found it, and he'll do his job. Oh, she's just dipped under. The frog is still in the pond. Yep, she's still there, hiding underneath the little rock shelf because I've disturbed her. I don't want to do that, but as promised, as the wildlife video is here, about the wildlife here in this garden and how valuable they are, and even the unwanted pests. And there's one little bit of wildlife there foraging strawberries on your buttons. And yes, the hedgehog that I spotted at 4:30 one morning is still here, because at 10 o'clock one night when I let Buttons outside before bed, she spotted the hedgehog drinking from the edge of the pond just there. So we know the hedgehog is still with us, not too phased by Buttons. So yeah, we still have the hedgehog, we still have the frog, we still have birds, and even the robin. Oh look, and as I'm saying it, there are the bumblebees. Look at that. Beautiful big bumblebees. One of my favorites. And while I was working in the garden yesterday, the place was absolutely buzzing with hoverflies of different types. I had black and white ones, yellow and white ones, tiny little ones, and big ones. And here's another bit of wildlife just hiding under the leaf. I really want to take it off then at the same time. It's one of my favorite pests. I know it sounds weird, but I think snails are just so beautiful. Really are. Oh, and look, still here. Still here. And it's on the south heel, so I'm leaving it right there. And hopefully it survives. So there you are. There's still wildlife here. We occasionally have the seagulls on the rooftops squawking away. We have pigeons. We have wood pigeons actually visiting the garden very occasionally. And we also have doves. We have bats flying around at night. It's beautiful to watch. So creating gardens and spaces, and there's trees. Of course, the trees make a very big difference with having wildlife. Yep, there's the rowan tree there and the eucalyptus there, and we have ash over there and a great big pear tree. So there you go, there's lots of trees around ready for, oh look, Oh no, don't fly into the spider's web, little bee. We have leafcutter bees too. I did show you the other day, didn't I, the leaves? So I know that we have leafcutter bees because I saw one flying around with a piece of leaf in its mouth. Look at that. Same as last year. So they are staying around. I haven't put up any bee hotels or anything like that. They must be making their own homes in the hedges. Remember what I said 2 years ago? If you grow it, if you build it, as the cheesy saying goes, they will come. It's got to be said. My tomatoes are a little bit yellowing, so they need more feed in. I've left the bucket on the toilet lid so the men in the house know to fill it. So they'll be fed today again. And all of these edges here, with the feverfew, the south heel, the borage, the calendula over there, they all help. Even the rocket in flower all help to feed the beneficial insects that come and pollinate those tomatoes and those bean flowers so that we could get fruit and veggies. Finally, after all the damage from the slugs and the wind, the beans are finally starting to grow, but I doubt seriously that they're going to grow very tall as they should. They normally could grow up to 8 foot tall, but this year they're not going to. So I found some more of the same beans, and on the packet it said they can be sown right up to the middle of July. So I did that, and I'm just waiting for them to sprout now. They'd been soaking. I sowed them yesterday, and I'm waiting for them to be ready. So I'm going to keep them in here until they're quite well established and not going to be bugged by the literally bugged by the slugs and snails. Though I'm not too worried about those slugs, because as I said, between the frog and the hedgehog, we might have some success. Wonderful way to have nature control the pests for you. So working with nature, making a home for them, providing what they need, including the pests, you will have wildlife of all sorts of shapes and sizes and types in your garden. Well, I do anyway. Right, off to inside work while I've got the chance. Speak to you all again soon, people. Bye.